things in this life. Safe places with those you love. They say it's not the fire, but what you're made of. Do we harden like the steel or just burn up? Can we please go back to the way it was before? 'Cause I don't wanna hurt anymore.
Alrighty guys, check it out. What a freaking pleasure. We have seen this motorcycle. We have built this motorcycle. We've done everything. And one thing we've talked about this bike is the freaking paint job. And I have the pleasure, the absolute pleasure. So thank you. This is Erik.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Right.
From Hollister, Indian Motorcycle Hollister. He is their paint master, PhD, and looking sexy.
Right.
This guy has made me drop so much sexy music on this bike. On this bike, and I'm excited. First of all, I just really got to compliment you.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
Everybody loves this, bro.
Thank you.
And I don't know like where you have expectations and where you think you came out of, but I think you knocked it out of the park.
Well, thank you much. What we're doing all the time, we do any bike, or especially a project like this where you know it's going for something good. Folds of honor. I mean, that is just something that it affects you just as a person, knowing about what military goes through, what everybody goes through who has fought for this country. So what an inspiration for this one came as for things that I liked when I was a little kid.
Yeah.
So that's where a lot of it came from. And things that I liked were Captain America, you know?
I knew
so
it.
Captain America's one, G.I. Joe's another.
Okay.
A little bit of Top Gun. I mean,
I see Top Gun right here.
Things. There was no real one thing, but now the question was, okay, how do we put all that together and not make it look overly painted or something that doesn't look good? We want it to be pretty, and we want it to catch your attention. So there was things that I thought about it in the beginning, like, do you paint the bike white? Do you paint the bike, what color do you start with? And white was almost a thought that happened. And then I thought, well, no, then white, and do we put a flag on there? What do we do was one of the real questions. And so I thought, you know what, let's go blue. Let's start with a nice, pretty pearl blue, and a little bit on the darker side. Yeah. We didn't need it to be super bright, but we know the colors will still show once they're all done, and it still feels like a red, white, and blue bike.
Yeah.
From a distance, you catch the colors, and so what we did here was inspiration, even just on these small details like this honeycomb on the tank. That reminded me of like what superhero suits are doing today. They're textured, so a little something here that just kind of fades off into nothing. And we thought, well, let's not just do white stars, let's do silver stars.
So is this silver leaf?
So no, that is silver paint, but what I did, I shaded it with an airbrush to give it the nautical star look. So it had some depth to it, and a little bit of dimension to the star. And then the outline around the star was also just an added touch, just to kind of make it feel like I went above and beyond, because that you know, when you do things like that, it gets tedious. And there was about 50 stars on this bike when we first did it. There was exactly 50. And so I think it might have changed a little bit now since we added the lowers and we changed the bags. But we were right in the 50 range in the very beginning.
Okay.
So yeah, so it was just something that I didn't want to overwhelm it with too much white. And so little bits of white throughout the bike and a little touch of red, just so that it felt really clean as you walked around the bike. And when we were first contacted by Indian to do this, there was no guidelines. They had just said, we've seen what you guys do, we like what you do, just do something cool for us.
Hey, they got that one right.
So that's how it started. So it was nice that we didn't have to really follow any rules. So me and Ray Sotelo, we got together, we kind of thought it out, and then that's what we came up with right here, was to do this right here.
It's so incredible. But you said, like, sacrifice. Man, you did great work, definitely. And it's fun to hear about the 50 stars. It's also funny you mentioned, and then we changed things. So, okay, so tell me the story. How long did you have? I heard a little bit.
Yeah, we didn't have a whole lot of time. We were supposed to get the bike, I think it was in March of 2024, and I don't think it showed up till about May. And it had to be done, it was maybe the second week of May. So we were already a couple months back that I didn't get to work on it.
2 weeks?
So I was going to try to, I thought I had a good month to get everything done, because I knew it was going to be a slower, tedious process.
Yeah.
But then when the bike finally came, we kind of had to get it in gear real quick. And so we really didn't have a whole lot of time. And really, end result, it took about 2 weeks to do this right here is what it took. So it was 2 weeks of just banging away, paint it, clear coat it, pinstripe it, the whole deal. And that's what we do at Hollister. So we're kind of used to it, kind of going, you know, we're kind of used to moving a little quick. Because, you know, really at the shop, we don't like to keep customers waiting too long. And that happens with projects, you know, paint projects that can tend to get lost in the shop. So at Hollister, we try not to do that. We try to get a schedule, stick to it, and get you your bike back so you're back on the road. And so that's how we were able to pull off this bike.
So when Ray called you and said, hey, this guy Fish won this motorcycle, and now he's gonna take it to the Mecum auction and raise more money for Folds of Honor. But he's sending us 6 more pieces. Dude, what? Don't even lie. What did you say?
Well, so I went
rear naked choke me and put me out right now?
Okay, I go, what are you talking? What pieces? I thought the bike was done. And he goes, no, they're going to do a complete audio system. And you know what though? But actually, to tell you the truth, I had no problem with it at all. Not one bit. Only because this bike means a lot to us. So to me, as soon as they said, we're going to get some lids, and we're going to get some lowers, and we just got to paint all the stuff to match, it wasn't even a thing where I questioned. I just said, absolutely, we're in.
So was the front hard lowers? I could see an easy transition for the speaker lids, but were the front lowers something that really like racked your brain, or does it just
well, you know what?
Dude, are you mastermind?
Well, the front lowers were something that I looked at. When I first picked them up, I didn't know which one was right or left, so I just kind of, you know, I found pictures and I ended up looking, but I thought, let's not overwhelm it with too much colors on there, because we are, you know, it's down low. You know, all we really need, I think, is to keep it blue. Let's add some stars, let's add some striping that goes with the bike, but I didn't feel like it was necessary to bring in whites and reds on a piece low. Let's just let those live where they are, you know. And the lids were not a problem to do. I kind of went off of the original design that was on there. And when we got all the speaker grills and rings, I just thought, let's give it something to where we didn't actually just shoot it clear coat and everything just looks like we sprayed clear. So I wanted to do a matte finish on that. So that was intentional, to do the matte finish, just to give it something else, give it color,
depth,
but it doesn't necessarily have to be shiny. To me, when speaker lids or things like that are shiny, or grills, I feel like they get a little funny looking. So I wanted to keep it in the matte style finish, which is why I wanted to do that right there.
I was just happy that when I said I wanted to send you, you weren't just like, black's fine, bro. Like, I was happy that you guys wanted to do that.
Oh yeah.
And then I messed up and I sent you speaker grills we didn't need. So you ended up doing a bunch of them.
Yeah, I saw the grills and I just figured what'll happen is that you're gonna pick the one you like.
Yeah.
That's what I just figured would happen. And I thought, let's do them all, and whatever whatever ones you pick, you know.
Man. So how long have you been painting?
I have been painting. I got into painting in 1992 when I first started.
Okay.
So what are we going on now? Is that
I don't
30?
even know. That's like 10 years or something, right?
We're about 10 years
I think
in now.
2002 or something.
So I started doing that, and I've been painting ever since that. It was just a job that I thought I might really like, and it turned out that I was okay at it. You know, I mean, you learn a lot in your early days. You wreck a lot of things, but you kind of learn by your mistakes as you go. And as time goes on, you just learn how to improve and get faster and better at whatever you do. So I've been with it for that long, and I first started painting for actually the guy who made the seat right here, Corbin.
Okay.
So I was Corbin's painter for about 16 years. Okay. And that's how I started over there.
What did you paint for them?
So with Corbin, they make a line of saddlebags, fairings, trunks, a lot of miscellaneous pieces for lots of different bikes. And so what I did, I was his painter over there, where you could buy a part from them, and we would paint match it for you.
Color match it.
So that's what I did over there, and I did that from 1998 to 2014.
And then in 2014 you went to...
And then in 2014 I went on my own. We opened my own shop.
Okay.
And I was going to start doing paint, and that's when I got with Ray from Indian. And so Ray had just brought in Indian again. 2014 was the first year for Indian to come back.
Yep.
And they only came with 3 colors. So it was black, maroon, and a dark blue. That's all you had.
Okay.
So what Ray's first thing was let's paint a bike like a 1957 Chevy. Let's do something cool. And so the first thought was turquoise and cream. That was the very first bike we did. So Ray ripped down a bike, and these are brand new bikes at the time. No one had even touched these bikes. They were like literally brand new.
Right.
And so Ray tears one down. I spend a week on it. I give him back a custom painted bike, and it sold fast. And so I think it sold within a week. And so let's do another one.
Yeah.
And let's do another one. And so it took off, where Hollister has become a place to go for paint.
Listen, guys. I've been very fortunate enough to have lots of friends in the industry, a lot of dealership friends, and Indian Motorcycle of Hollister is definitely a cornerstone of, I always say, top shelf dealers. So Ray, his team, your guys' reputation is all top shelf. I'm not saying anything negative about anybody else,
right,
but
absolutely.
you guys there's a few different things on the top shelf, but you guys are up there. And so
yeah, there's a lot of talented people all over. A lot of people put a lot of love and work into this bike, and you know what? I appreciate everybody who ever worked on these kind of projects.
You guys did, and I'm gonna just tell everybody, when I hit up Ray about adding parts to a thing that they already did for charity, and I said, I'm sorry, but we're under the understanding I'm not paying for this, right?
Right, yeah.
And didn't even hesitate.
No,
so
there's no hesitation.
So Eric, man, thank you
Right on.
so
Thank
much.
you very much
I
for having
really
me.
appreciate it.
I appreciate talking to you.
And man, this is, I'm not sure how many other great bikes you've done, but this is for sure a great bike. So
thank you very much. I appreciate it.
All right,
Thank you for talking to me.
And if you guys need to find Eric, Eric, what's a good way?
You can catch me on Instagram, _Erik Solorio at Instagram. That's the one I use the most.
Okay, so that's what we're gonna have a link in the description for that. Also, Hollister Powersports, Indian Motorcycle Hollister, you can find them there. Reach out to Ray or the team, anybody can help you. And that's it.
Right on.
Ride hard, ride fast, and stay out of somebody you don't know. Peace.